How goes it, everybody? I am the world famous Fat Kid, and today we are doing our Week 16 recap. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I sure did. It went very well for me, but we'll get to that. So, there were some games. I'm just going to leave it at that statement. No. There were some surprising games this week. Couple I was very much wrong on, but we ended with a respectable 10-6 this week. Can't be too mad. Winning record, staying positive. That's what we need. And one of those games that I was very much wrong. Well, we start with, of course, the Thursday night game because I picked the Saints taking on the Rams. I said the Saints were going to have a better defense and they were going to be able to slow down the Rams, and no, they did not. I mean, Kyron Williams had 100, I believe over 100 total yards from scrimmage. Puka Nacua, 160 total yards and a TD. I mean, those two right there single-handedly destroyed the Saints. I mean, it was 30-22. It wasn't exactly a blowout, but that's also because the Saints made it a game later. But yeah, we're starting off the week with 0-1. And we're going to continue it with an 0-2 because Saturday started out with Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers dominated that game. The defense just suffocated anything that the Bengals tried to put out on the field. 34-11. No, it was bad. I picked the Bengals. I mean, T. Higgins scored a touchdown. Pretty 75-yard, I believe. But that's about it for them. Then moving on Saturday night, it is the Buffalo Bills taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, and somehow this was a game. This is a shocker to me. I did not expect this to be a close game. And at one point, late in the fourth quarter, the Chargers even had the lead with 5.5 minutes left, whatever. And then the Bills had to kick a game-winning field goal. They almost let this game slip through their fingers. Buffalo is not the same Buffalo that we've seen the last couple years. I don't think they're going to make it very far in the playoffs, but that's if they make the playoffs. They should, but who knows? We still got 2 weeks left of the season. Anyway, I picked the Bills. They sneak a victory out of Los Angeles, 24-22. Should not have been that close. But that puts us at 1-2. Coming into Sunday, starting off, Indianapolis Colts taking on the Atlanta Falcons, and the Colts were dominated. I mean, the final score is 29-10. I was way wrong on this. I thought Gardner Minshew. I also thought Zach Moss was going to play, but apparently he was injured, so they just sat him. Whatever. I was wrong. Atlanta just dominated. So there we go. There's another loss. But then we move to the Green Bay Packers taking on the Carolina Panthers. And I thought this was going to be a slam dunk. Jordan Love's playing well. Aaron Jones was coming back. Dobbs, Reed, the receivers for Green Bay have been playing well. And then it turns into a 3-point game, 33-30. Green Bay won, but it was way closer than I thought it was going to be. Carolina decided, we're going to try on this one. They almost got it too. But Green Bay wins. We're putting that. You know, when I figure out how to edit, I'll have a win and a loss column or something like, and I'll, you know. But until then, just pretend. Use your imagination. Next, we're gonna go the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. I picked the Browns, and good gravy. Joe Flacco and Amari Cooper just. If you do not know by this point, I'll give you Flacco's line first. 368 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. That man has now thrown for over 300 yards 3 consecutive games. First time in his career, I believe. At least that's what I was told. But here's Amari Cooper. 11 catches, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Texans could not stop that man. Single-handedly ruined the game. But it was good for me because I picked Cleveland to win. Woo! Next, moving on, Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings. Detroit win, and you get the division. And lo and behold, 30-24. Now, that's a lot closer of a game than I thought. I'm going to say that a lot this week, honestly. Too many times, honestly. I'm not going to say that again. But Minnesota had a chance. Detroit gets a game-saving pick. And congratulations to the Lions for their first division title since 1993. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I picked the Vikings to win the division at the beginning of the year, so I'm wrong on that one. Yeah. Next year, I'll do division picks and all that fun stuff before week 1. But anyway, Detroit got the win. Moving on to, I just said it, and I'm going to say it a few more times, a game that I thought was not going to be as close as it was. Because just like Buffalo and Los Angeles, this came down to a late field goal to win for the Jets against the Commanders. So Washington going into New Jersey. The Jets were up 17-0 at one point, and Washington came storming back because Jacoby Brissett came in and led 2 touchdown drives to get them back into the game, and they got some momentum. Eventually, they took a 28-27 lead. And Greg Zuerlein, who's been pretty good for a few years, kicks a 54-yard field goal as time expired to win the game. You know, early in the year, Sam Howell, I talked about him. I was like, he's a lot better than I thought he was. That's awesome. He's playing really well. He led the league in passing for a few weeks. He looks really good. And then the past 4 weeks or so, he's just fallen off a cliff. Just like, there he goes. He's gone. He's off the cliff. I think it's time to start Jacoby Brissett. He's given the team a bit of a charge. And, I mean, depending on if you're trying to win games or improve your draft pick. So, if I were trying to win, Brissett. If I didn't really care, keep trying to get Howell more reps and assess the talent. But Jets end up winning. I picked the Jets, keeping it going. Then we go Seattle Seahawks, Tennessee Titans. Another one of those games. I thought Seattle was going to come in 31-10 or something, but it ended up being a pretty good game. Derrick Henry threw a touchdown to the tight end. I'm not even going to try to say his name. But Seattle relied on for a second week in a row, a late final minute touchdown to win the game. And if they have to rely on that, they're not going to go very far in the playoffs either. If they make it, there's still a chance they might not, but I think Seattle's going to get one of the 3 wild card spots. Anyway, pick Seattle over Tennessee. Then another game I was very wrong about. Jacksonville Jaguars, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It got out of hand quick. And I guess Baker Mayfield may have... No, he didn't hear or see this, but he played lights out. Bucks won 30-12. It was not even close. I was wrong. But we move on to the Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears. 27-16, Bears win. I picked the Bears. They played very well, but they also played against the Cardinals, which not very many good teams have lost to the Cardinals, Cowboys. So a bad team against a bad team, and the better bad team won. Easiest way to put that. Next, moving on to, speaking of the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins. This was a very close game. Both teams were airing it out, moving the ball. They both produced, I don't want to say points, but they got enough offense to put themselves into positions. The defense for the Cowboys let them down, very much so. Because Myers kicks another last-second field goal, so that's, I believe, 2 this week, as time expired, to beat the Cowboys 22-20. I picked Miami, so of course I was happy about it, plus I don't like the Cowboys, so yeah. We're smiles over here. We're smiles over here in the McBibbles household. Anyway, Sunday Night Football, New England Patriots going up against the Denver Broncos. I picked Denver. And they got outclassed. I can't say they got smoked because it relied on a field goal to win for New England. But New England jumped out early. Denver caught up. And then New England, late in the game, game-winning field goal. I don't know what's going on with Denver. Every time they've showed promise, they stop. So I hope they lose the next 2 games and get a losing record, and we move that up to, is it 7 consecutive seasons? I don't know. I don't really care. Weird. But New England, hey, good job. 26-23. There you go. Now, Christmas Day. Everybody who's actually watched this game knows I'm a Raiders fan and that we are getting to the Raiders against the Chiefs. I said I was okay with this one being wrong because, of course, if I was wrong, the Raiders get the win. Picked Kansas City the entire way. Did not expect this. And the Raiders' defense looking real good under Antonio Pierce. And I guess Patrick Graham, I have to give him credit. I did not fully like Patrick Graham as our defensive coordinator, but maybe that's just because of the head coach and the way he wanted things ran. Josh McDipshit. Anyway, beautiful game. Beautiful game. The offense for the Raiders, complete different story. I don't want to talk about it because it's garbage. But the defense, 2 defensive touchdowns on back-to-back plays by the Chiefs within 7 seconds game time. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is 2 weeks in a row they've gotten 2 defensive touchdowns, and I believe I saw that was the first time since, was it 1980? The Bears? Don't quote me on that one. I could be wrong. But it was a beautiful game. I mean, from one aspect, I kept waiting for the wheels to fall off and something catastrophic to happen, but they held on. The running game with Zamir White while Josh Jacobs is out controlled the clock late. They did what they had to do, and it was beautiful. Let me be happy. This is only the third time in 6-7 years, whatever it is, that the Raiders have beat the Chiefs. Let me have it. Okay, moment's over. Anyway, I picked the Chiefs. They lost, so that's another one wherever I'd put the loss column. Next, we got New Jersey Giants going up against Philadelphia Eagles. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I figured Philly was just going to bounce back, walk through the Giants. No, 33-25. Woo, pretty close game. And I guess there was some iffy non-calls and iffy calls, which we've had those in every single game of the year. I don't know if it was necessarily game-changing calls this time, but Philly escapes with a win. That's one in the win column for me. Then we move on to Monday Night Football, which, final game of Christmas. Baltimore Ravens taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And yep, I was very much wrong on this one. It wasn't even really a close or good game. Baltimore defense took over 33-19. Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions. Yeah, that's that's all I got to say about that. I picked the Niners. They lost. So I could have gone to the best record I've had all season. But instead, with the loss, I'm going to show it again. We're 10-6. So that's for this week. Through week 16 with 2 weeks left, I'm 146-94. I'm very much excited. This has been so much fun. And I still have 2 weeks left, plus the playoffs, which I don't know what I'm going to do with the playoffs just yet, but I'll figure something out. I'm having a good time. I have a positive record. That's all I really wanted out of this. But I just want to say again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this video and any others that you have. But for now, all I can say is, it is what it is. I'll see you in the next one. Later.